Today I want to talk a little bit about a topic that we all are faced with. And we have so much information coming at us all the time that we don't know what is true and what is myth, what are scams, and what is real. And I think that's a big question for all of us. So one of the things that we want to do is really talk about what this is and what we can do about it. So let us define this a little bit that we have here on the slide. I have a definition here for health fraud scams. So health fraud scams refer to products that claim to prevent, treat, or cure disease or other health conditions, but are not proven safe and effective for those users. So basically, someone is lying to you, someone's not telling the truth. Now, the question here is, how big is this problem? How problematic can this get? And I will tell you that sometimes it's just money, as you'll see on this slide, that sometimes scams can waste money. But to be honest with you, the money part of this is probably less important to me than it can actually delay people from getting actual help that is scientifically proven. So when people get caught up in these health frauds, their diagnosis and treatment can be really postponed because they're trying some of these other treatments. In addition, some of these treatments can cause fatalities and serious illness and injury. So this is a very widespread problem. And we know that thousands upon thousands every year in this country actually fall victim to these health scams. And these scams are not only widespread, they hit everywhere and you are bombarded with them. And it doesn't matter if you are educated or not educated on this topic. What happens is they give us something to believe and hope in, and we'll talk about a little bit about that later. So where can these health frauds or scams be found? And to be honest with you, they can be seen everywhere. They are in TV infomercials, radio ads, magazine articles, newspaper articles. They are everywhere. And now with the onset of our online communities, now it is just at the touch of a button. We can be laying down, resting on our couch. They are bombarding us everywhere. And to be honest, the online community has absolutely, or the online versions of these are being huge billion-dollar making machines right now in the industry. So what are some of the common types of health frauds or scams that are out there? So I have a list here, but it is very serious when we have people with cancer, diabetes, HIV, AIDS, things that are very serious, can cause death, and need scientific, medically approved treatments. And what happens is a lot of times people in these situations who have been diagnosed with these very scary things are looking for something that will cure them or looking for something that they have not reached yet with the traditional medication process or therapy process their doctor has. And when you give someone hope, that's what I think is so tragic about these scenarios, is that when you give someone hope in something that is really false, and you're almost basically lying to people, it can create not only this idea of distrust, but also illness furthering down the line and maybe that much harder to come back from. So another remedy or fraud that you see that is being pushed out there is in arthritis, or basically pain management. When people are dealing with chronic pain issues, again, this is a very hard thing day in and day out to be dealing with chronic pain. And again, if you see a pill or a cream or something to give you hope to alleviate that pain, you want to believe what they are promising you. So there are also phony dietary supplements, of course, weight loss scams that tell you can lose weight without even trying. Wouldn't that be wonderful if that was actually something that could happen, to lose weight without trying? Also anti-aging. We are also obsessed with youthfulness here in this country. And what happens is we will do anything and pay anything to have that youthful look. And unfortunately, there are no huge scientific evidence that says anything really will totally wind back the clock of aging. diagnostic testing frauds, influenza remedies or flu remedies fraud, and again, sexually transmitted disease fraud. So these are some major things that you're seeing out in the marketplace when it comes to fraud, and we have to be careful. So then the next question is, if this fraud is everywhere, so what are you telling me, Dr. Moses, that it is everywhere, it's everywhere I go, everywhere I see, I'm trying to search for hope for what is ailing me. So then the next question I would be asking was, how do I know it's truth or is it myth? Is it a scam or is it real? So what I want to talk to you today about is, what can you look for, what should you avoid, and what can you do? So this is very important, I think, for all of us. So one of the telltale signs that I look for is things that are labeled herbal or natural. Now, that might seem very benign to most people. Well, if it's herbal, it can't do anything to me. If it's natural, of course, I can just try it, and if it doesn't work, we can move on to the next thing. However, what we want to remember is the word natural does not always mean safe or effective. So again, natural things can actually be very debilitating. So if I told you to rub poison ivy on your skin, poison ivy is something actually quite natural, but could be very, very problematic. Also, there are mushrooms out there that are in the natural category that are huge hallucinogenics. So this word natural and herbal does not mean it's safe, and also does not mean it won't interact with your regularly prescribed medications. So when something says herbal or natural, that should be something to look more into and also to talk to your doctor about. Because what happens is when people say, let me try this herbal remedy or this natural supplement, what happens is they start trying it without talking to their doctor or licensed healthcare professional, and then that interacts with what they're already taking, which could then cause a huge problem in their health. So we always want to be careful. Number two, don't give into pressure to act quickly. So in a lot of these cases, what will happen in some of these products, they say limited time offer, big sale, big discount. Sometimes even on these websites, they'll even have a countdown clock counting down the minutes to when the sale ends, trying to get you to act quickly. Well, let me try it and I'll get this deal. So if it doesn't work, maybe or maybe not, but I don't want to miss out on this deal. So if you have pressure to act quickly, that's also another thing to kind of keep in mind. What's also another thing is, have you ever seen a quick big sale that says limited time offer on penicillin? Probably not. So when things are really proven, a lot of times you don't have these huge sales and limited time offers. Another thing, again, how I talked about with online pieces, is what happens is they might see you type in your search for a weight loss regimen or a skin cream or a cure for diabetes or a cure for cancer. When you do those searches, there's analytics behind some of these things, and then you start actually getting emails or pop-ups onto your computer. So one of the things to be very careful about is do not open attachments or click on links in unsolicited emails or texts about health, medical, or wellness products. Because what can very well happen, it might look legitimate, but those clicks can actually open the door for you to be invaded by malware, and you do not want that to happen. And again, they already are preying on your vulnerability when it comes to you searching for something that will work. So they may be giving you good deals and sales, they may be guaranteeing you a cure, all kinds of things in this email, and you are really feeling you need to press that link to find out what they're offering you. Please just delete the email and kind of move on from there. Another thing to look at is beware of when products are all-in-one. So be careful when one product can do it all. And this happens in the beauty industry a lot. This can happen even with chronic diseases. So what can happen here is they will say one product will make your hair grow longer, make your eyelashes grow, will take away your wrinkles, will increase your nail growth and harden and strengthen your nails. It'll say it'll improve your digestive system from the inside out, and it'll do all of these things all at once. And that is also one of those telltale signs that this is probably a scam and something that doesn't work. You have to be very careful also when one product cures cancer or can be a treatment for cancer and diabetes and all of these different diseases with this one product. Because one of the things that we do know is that these different issues in the body have different biological pathways, and each of the treatments has to be different. So again, one product does it all is something to be aware of. Another thing to be concerned about or pay attention to is when the effectiveness of these products are only proven by testimonials or personal testimonies. And I can tell you, I can watch these things, and if you're kind of a bleeding heart like I am, you'll watch these and people are crying about how this pill or this product or this machine kind of changed their life and completely gave them a second chance at life. And you buy into these things. You not only buy into these things because the emotions just pull you in and you say, wow, look at what this has done for this person. In this slide here, you see all the wrinkles from someone melting away, and this is one person. Know that there is Photoshop. Also know that there are actors sometimes playing people and even playing doctors. So you have to be careful when there's really no scientific backing to these things, but only just testimonials and people telling you their stories. And I'm going to tell you, one of the most powerful things that people use to sell products is for a testimonial and to pull on your heartstrings and for you to believe their story, for you to click that button on buy now. So another thing to be aware of is quick fixes. Now, this is really, really popular. The quick fix piece of it is really popular in weight management. And I'm going to tell you, all of us, have probably known someone or personally struggled with weight management issues. We worry about our weight, and in a lot of popular media, you're never skinny enough. So everyone is thinking about weight loss, weight loss, weight loss. And I'm going to tell you, weight loss is a journey and can be very difficult over time. And it does take concentrated effort. There is no such thing as simple or losing weight without any effort and not thinking about it. And I know that is very sad to hear and can be very disappointing, but it is the truth. And when people say that you can lose 10 pounds in a week and keep it off for a lifetime, those are the things to kind of say, is it too much? Is it too good to be true? Is it a quick fix for something that I have been dealing with for the last 10, 15, 20, 25 years? And just by taking this in 1 week, it can all be solved. So again, quick fixes are a big red flag when you're looking at products. Another thing is time-tested or newfound treatment. These are the kinds of words that individuals use or companies use to get you kind of hooked in. So time-tested. There's no real evidence to what time that is. It could be a week, it could be 25 years. So time-tested really means nothing. Also, newfound treatment. So a lot of times you'll find these on an infomercial that is in 3 o'clock in the morning or some obscure health magazine, and you'll find this, newfound treatment. If it was a very effective, scientifically proven treatment, you would not have to dig into obscure magazine or stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning. This would be all over the news. Your doctor would be telling you about it. Everybody would be talking about something that effective. So when you think of secret newfound treatment or time-tested, you have to look a little bit deeper in what they're telling you. It sounds wonderful, so I understand how people get involved in this, but again, we have to be careful. Now, here's one that you might say, well, how is this, something that I should be aware of? Well, I will tell you that a lot of fraud out there promises you 100% satisfaction guaranteed. They will promise you the world. They will say, try it for free. There is no risk. These are all the types of words that they use. However, if they're selling you a product that doesn't work and you can't find them, they can promise you anything. They can promise that they will show up on your front door and give you your check personally. But it doesn't matter because you're never going to find them and your money is gone. So again, when they say 100% satisfaction guaranteed, be a little bit careful, because what we do know is that even with prescribed medications, sometimes it doesn't work for everyone or the side effects are different. So how can you provide 100% satisfaction guaranteed on health products? So it's very, very difficult for that. So when that happens and you see this, be aware. Okay. So now what you see in this slide that I have here is I actually went on the internet and I looked up a health product. Now this is a health product. I blocked it out so you don't know what it is, and I have blocked it out and called it Product X. So as you can see here, this is on a website where you can actually purchase this product. So as you read this, as we read it together, Product X is a potential natural, potent natural fat burner supplement blend designed to burn fat, increases energy levels, suppresses your appetite, and Product X's thermogenic agent matrix helps to set your metabolism into hyperdrive, burn extra calories, and torch body fat. Now, doesn't this product sound amazing? Of course it does. I wish something like this would be in a pill. But the reason I'm showing you here, did any of the things that I have listed for you to be aware of pop up in this very simple, and literally I just clicked on the first link that was online and got this product. So here, what are some of the things that would stand out to you now that you are a more educated shopper? Right here is natural. So if you go back to this slide, you'll see the word natural on there. That is one of those words that we have to be careful of, natural or in nature. Another thing here is you see this sale. It is promoting a good deal. So again, you have to be very careful. Here's one we didn't talk about, thermogenic agent matrix. So what happens in a lot of these websites, they will actually throw some meaningless medical jargon at you that actually means nothing. So here, and they try to sound more scientific and kind of tell you that they are kind of an authority on this and you don't need to know about it, but we figured it out for you. So again, huge red flag going up here. When I scroll down on this product, you see things here. So I'm going to let you read this a little bit and see if there's anything here that should stand out to you. Again, this ultra lightning fast, ultra easy way to unlock your body's hidden triple thermogenic powers. You see this again, medical jargon throwing at you, this fast and ultra easy. And then here I want to say guaranteed rapid results. Again, remember this was one of the things that we talked about, is that if they are guaranteeing something, it is a red flag. And again, now they're even guaranteeing not only the product is effective, but it's going to happen really fast. So you scroll down a little bit more, and here's the product lineup for Product X. So you see here, and hopefully now that we are now experts in spotting these frauds and claims, you see here that you have at the very top, what does it say here? It says 0 risk. Now, what did we say about 0 risk of anything that you're putting in your body? Now, for example, I will say nothing can guarantee 0 risk. So, for example, if you think about nature and natural, if I would go to the store and say natural, I could eat anything here, and let's say I buy a gallon of milk. For me, that is a high-risk product for my body because I have an intolerance to milk. However, for someone else and most of the general population, milk is just fine. But on a milk container, they cannot even say, on something as benign as milk, to say 0 risk. So how can some supplement or a pill say 0 risk unless they're scamming you? Another thing here, do you see these seals here? Lifetime guarantee. They can promise you, again, the world. However, when you read these things, it looks really mesmerizing, and it sucks you in. To be honest, it looks very legitimate. Another thing here is these sales. So this is something else to be aware of, is that if you buy more, your deal is better. And this deal is running out. You can even buy a subscription and get this sent to your house. Now let's talk about subscriptions a little bit. So a lot of times people will say, buy the subscription, you get a better deal, and it will just come to your house every month. Well, and they will take it off of your credit card every month and you get a bill. Now with that, when it's scams, it is very hard to cancel. So this will be going out every month or every 2 weeks, whatever you signed up for. But if it's a scam, it will continue that, and you can't get anyone on the phone, or you can't find any customer service. So these products, it's very, very difficult. So be careful anytime they ask you to subscribe for something, or if you have to buy more to get a great deal. So here are some things to really, really think about when it comes to these health frauds and scams. Number one, you know I'm going to say this, always talk to your doctor or your licensed healthcare professional. What happens here is a lot of people then say, well, my doctor doesn't know about this, or this is some secret thing that is out there. And that's another thing that happens when we talk about fraud. What they try to do is make people start thinking paranoid thoughts like, doctors don't know about this, or something that the medical community does not want you to know about. All of these kinds of things helps you become paranoid, and people start taking these things and not talking to their healthcare professionals about. However, this can be extremely dangerous and cause your disease or your condition to further down the line, and maybe to past the point where we can come back from. So you always want to talk to your doctor. Now, can a doctor know everything about everything? And the answer is no. However, if you're interested in a product, take the product advertisement and the ingredients to your doctor. Send it to them via email. Have them do some research about this and get their opinion. This is hugely important fact about having your doctor's opinion, because it is always a better idea to say it than to not say it. The second thing is look for research that is peer-reviewed scientific findings. Now, let's talk a little bit about this one a bit, because a lot of people can say clinically proven. You might have seen that, and that is all over, when it comes to these products, clinically proven. Well, what does clinically proven mean? The answer is almost nothing. So, for example, this is a great, I heard this example, and I wanted to share this with you. So let's say you have a product, and that product happens to be water. And you have someone come in and say, there is something in this water that is going to help you with your anxiety. And they come into the clinic and they drink this water, and they actually said, oh, I feel better. Then something can potentially be clinically proven. Not that it was proven on many people. It didn't tell us when the clinically proven, it says clinically proven. It doesn't tell you if it was 2 people, 1 person, or 25,000 people that it was proven with. Also, there is something called a placebo effect. And I won't go into that today, but that basically means that it's going to work because you believe it to work in some instances. So that placebo effect can also be involved in clinically proven. So a lot of times, clinically proven is one, or they say 2 out of 3 people. Well, 2 out of 3 people, meaning how many did you ask? Was it just 3? So these are the kinds of things that you want to be careful of when people start talking about clinically proven using all these things. So research, peer-reviewed scientific findings when you come to these products. And then the last thing I want to encourage you to do is to be smart when you're looking at these things. Be aware that there are a lot of unhealthy products out there and a lot of dishonest people just trying to make money. And also be careful, because anything that you put on your body and in your body could have a reaction. So you always want to be careful of what you do and who you trust when it comes to these things. So we talked a little bit about what the problem is, where you can find these problems, what you can see and look out for. And now the question is, what happens when you do see these frauds? And this is what I want to tell you, that there are governmental agencies that look at these things. So if you want to report a non-emergency problem about a product, you can see that on the left side of your screen in yellow. So you can call the FDA, you can visit their website and make a report. However, if you actually have used this product and you have a complaint, that actually is in purple on the right side of your screen. And also, when it comes also to the FDA, you want to be careful on what language they are using. So I want to also mention there is a difference between FDA approved and FDA registered. So I want you to know that terminology. So FDA approved and FDA registered. So FDA approved means it has gone through a lot of scientific rigor. It has been proven by many different researchers, and peers in the research community have looked at this product or this, medication and said this is safe to use for the American people. FDA registered is something absolutely completely different. What FDA registered means is that all you have to do, all the FDA knows is that this product belongs to this company. So all they do, it's like registering for a telephone directory in some senses, where all you have to do is put in your information so the FDA knows that this product belongs to this company. But there is nothing to say that this product is effective, or it is safe, or it is even recommended. So these are a few of the things that I wanted to share with you, because here in today's society, we have a lot of distrust, we have a lot of dishonesty, we have a lot of illness. And what happens when we have someone that is dealing from illness, or a condition that they are that is chronic, such as anxiety or depression, mental illnesses, or it can be diabetes and cancers like I mentioned before, it is very, very easy to fall into the depths of despair. And I think many of us have seen it happen or have experienced it, where you don't feel like there is any help out there. Not only is there not help out there, you can't find someone to help you, and some of the people that can help you, the things that you're taking, you don't feel are working fast enough, or the side effects to the treatment is way beyond what you thought you could endure. And so in those scenarios, people are searching for something that works for them, and this is why many people, and if you are one of them, there is no shame in that, because honestly, they prey on our hope. They prey on our pain, and that is what happens out there. But the good news is there is something that we can do about it. We can be educated consumers. We can know who to trust, and we can trust our clinically licensed professionals out there. Now, am I saying that all clinically licensed professionals are all the same and you should trust them, close your eyes and kind of jump off into the deep end? The answer is no. If you are having questions about anything, talk to your doctor. And if you want another opinion, go talk to another one. It is okay. And to be honest with you, all the physicians that I know would be happy to have a conversation with you about this. There is hope out there. There is treatment out there. You just have to make sure that you protect yourself in the process.